24th. The SPY is still in this sideways range. And since it's just chopping around, we're just picking and choosing our stocks. And it's really, really important. Stock selection is super important during a time like this when the market's straight sideways. So you got to find a way. You got to have a way to find those morning gappers, to find the stuff that might pop tomorrow and so on. So here's the list I have come up with for Tuesday. ACST, now, all these topping tails suggest to me, hey, this thing just gets sold every time it pops. So I don't love this, but I do like the volume today. It closed at 145, and then in after hours, this thing went up to almost 175. So it almost feels like something's up. So I just want to watch it. I told everybody if this closed strong, this is going to be a really handsome chart. Well, it didn't close strong, but then in after hours, it was strong. So low float stock, it is certainly worth watching, okay? I mean, look at this move. There's one thing I like to look for when I'm looking for stocks is in the recent past few months, something like that, has this thing made any massive moves, right? And this one was $1.38 to 309 in one day. That's huge, right? More than a double. So, and then you had another one here, and then it started to get slapped down every time it rallied. But, it did still close above its open, and again, rallied in after hours, and it's a low float, and it has nice support below now. So this one, I think is worth watching tomorrow. ETRM. We had this on watch today, no trades in it. So it just goes back on watch tomorrow. It had this huge move, gave it back, then a 2-day kind of quiet period, then a pop, and then a red day. So there's nothing that clean about this chart, but as I showed you in the video for yesterday, this thing moved from $2 to over 30. You got to watch something like that. And we had a really nice trade in this one on Friday, right? I think Wayne called this at 666, and it went through 10. And so you can see what happened. And today it gapped up, and it's really got pretty good support just below 8. So if this thing can give us one of our setups that we like somewhere in the low 8s, we might get another rip to 10. So certainly worth having on watch. HMNY. Before I left today, I told everybody that this, go to the daily, if this closes strong, and I had to leave early today, I said this is going to have a pretty handsome chart too. It didn't close strong though, so it's still going to go on watch. It closed above its open. Love the support below. Again, and just like ACST, things had some huge moves, right? Another one here, and now it's really got nice support. And with this volume, it might catch some attention tomorrow. Again, it's over $1 off of its intraday highs, though that makes me like it less, but I do like the support below. HMNY low floater goes on watch. XGTI was on watch for today. This is not a pretty chart, really, but it stayed inside of Friday's range, and this one can move at times when it does move. So I'm definitely going to watch this one, pretty much all week, although I'm not in love with this chart. BIOC, you've seen this before in my videos. I'm watching a stock for a potential bounce, and I go like 5-6 days in a row without any bounce, but also without any setup. So it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. It's back down to the 20-day here and definitely goes on a chart. But 5 days in a row, it's closed below its open. But it's also not falling that far the last few days. So, you could argue it's only a little bit below where it was 4 days ago, right? It closed 4 days ago at 151, closed today at 143. So if this gives us a proper setup, it might just squeeze to the upside. So it definitely is worth. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm looking for any one of these stocks to give me a nice intraday setup and a nice trade, and I can be done for the day in one trade if it works out well, right? NFEC, big pop back here, which ended up almost round tripping, but a nice pop here, and then a nice pop here, red day, and then right back up. So this one is interesting. Really, really low volume today, though. Because this day it went from 95 cents to $1.58. That's a huge move inside day, and then today it only traded 124,000 shares. So it's fairly thin out there for these lower priced stocks this last week or so. But I'm still gonna have it on watch. APRI had this one on watch today. Never gave a trigger, so it goes back on watch tomorrow. Today's range inside of Friday's range. That doesn't negate the recent strength, so it goes back on watch for tomorrow. MJN, really nice pop from like 70 to almost 76, from 70 to 76 in a little over 2 sessions, and now it's kind of flagging, so I want to watch that for a potential long, only with a proper setup. And then lastly, I have PULM, big pop, couple days lower, decent secondary pop, and then a quiet inside day. So that's it for my watch list. We'll also add some gappers in the pre-market tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.